Good morning, everyone. I'm Laurie Barraco, and it's time for the Empower Hour, which is a weekly show where I share my different thoughts on different subjects, and I answer. I'm going to start answering one psychic question per person towards the end of the episode or the show. Sounds so weird saying that for me. Well, for all of you that are in Florida, we have some wet weather here with the tropical storm, depression. I'm not quite sure. I think it keeps changing. So we have a little bit of precipitation, a little bit of wind. And for myself, I see this as spirit cleansing, Mother Nature cleansing our earth, cleansing our environment. So what may come up are just some things that have been tucked way down deep. In a way, I feel like little annoyances, little things that here and there that we know, I'll deal with it. We know aren't that big of a deal, and we intend to deal with it later. It's not the major challenges or issues that we're dealing with, just little things here and there that we're like, yeah, it's not 100% the most challenging thing that's on my plate these days. So I see this type of weather just stirring it up, kind of bringing it to the surface, like when you clean a pool, right? Or you do a whirlpool in the pool. You get that going and it brings that stuff to the top. So I like to sage a lot during this time when there's a lot of wet weather, a lot of wind, a lot of just kind of blowing things around. I like to sage. I like to make sure that I'm grounded, because when this happens, when this type of weather event happens, I know I get really stuck up here in the higher chakras of my head and my thoughts, and I kind of leave my body a lot. So I make sure that I ground myself a lot during these times. And I definitely make sure that I have my list of things that need to be done to be taken care of. And I do want to welcome those who are in the online community, as well as those on the YouTube page. Hello, welcome. If you have any questions, please do join the online community, www.themysticalmoon.ning.com. And I will be answering one psychic question per person later on. And I will be discussing the topic of manifestation and the law of attraction. And so it's always so good to see everyone here. And I appreciate all of the positive feedback that I have been receiving in regards to the online streaming, the online community. And trust me, there are more things that we're working on. And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get these things pulled together and to have it take off, where we have a little bit more of an outline on getting our thoughts to paper to the physical world. Now, we're also experiencing, or we are in Mercury is retrograde. I was going to say coming up, but Mercury has gone retrograde, the planet. So we may experience a couple of glitches here and there with our electronics, as well as with our communication, and we may misinterpret what people are saying, or they may miscommunicate with us, or we may be misunderstood. So it's a time to not take things personally. And I'll probably repost my blog of the do's and don'ts of Mercury retrograde. And it's just an interesting time. And for those who are in the online community, I already did share Ray Setty's astrological projections for September. We also have an eclipse coming up. So there are a lot of celestial events that are happening these days. And so I like to see it as keeping things interesting. All right, so I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and please do be patient with me. I have not got the whole managing all of these online events together, between trying to check the YouTube page as well as the online community, because sometimes in the online community, some of our friends want to join, and I'm not able to quite click on that right away. And not only that, but the online community is kind of going a little bit slow. And I do see that a few of you in the online community have mentioned that you did send your email question in the email area. Let me just double check. I do have Lady Christina's email. Doris, I don't have your email here. Let me just double check. Do not have your email in my inbox here in the online community. So I don't know if you sent it to a different email. And oh, it's so good to see a few more of you have joined me in this with the Empower Hour. All right, so I'm going to move forward to the topic because I know that we'll be busy with some email questions here. All right. And if you can now at this time, if you haven't sent it to the email area in the online community, just write it in your question in the online chat, because that just make it a little bit easier for me as I stream live and try to manage some of this. All right, so let's talk about the magic of manifesting. So we truly do manifest every second of every day. And so what I'd like to share with you are some of my thoughts on how to redirect your thoughts, belief systems, and I'm going to talk about a few different things with candles and crystals and affirmations to help you redirect your thoughts. And it can be overwhelming to take a step back and kind of reflect on, oh my gosh, I am manifesting every second of every day. So every thought, every word, every emotion, there's going to be a result of that, or I'm going to see that similar energy come back. Why, yes, we do. And so we do experience the karmic or the energetic return of our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, everything we're putting out there, our intentions, everything has consciousness. So with that being said, we vibrate at different frequencies. And if you're negative, if you're complaining, if you're directing energy towards someone, you are putting yourself in that vibrational plane, that dimension of possibly some negativity, of just some gunky stuff where it doesn't feel good. Now, to expect yourself to be always positive and in a good place and to always say and do the right thing is setting yourself up for failure, because we're human. We have emotions. We have triggers, and we're here to grow. So there's more light that's revealed every time we redirect a negative thought, a negative pattern. There's consciousness. There's light that's revealed, and we do set up these challenges along our path so that we can grow, change our methods, our belief systems, our reactions, and be more proactive. And with that, taking responsibility shifts and raises your vibrations. Just it's like a huge leap forward when you redirect your words, thoughts, and deeds. And when you catch yourself, that's where the light is revealed, and you may see it right away or experience it right away, or it may be coming in a little bit down the road. And this is why I really do encourage people to be patient with the manifestation process. And karma is not always instant. Karma doesn't always happen right away. And that is the truth. So you may get frustrated because you're trying to be positive and trying to do the right thing. And these people are just kind of like, they're cleaning up, they're doing fantastically. And they haven't been working at this as long as I have. And here I am, waiting and waiting and waiting for something really good to happen. And it doesn't always happen. And so karma or the manifestation does not have a timeline. It doesn't have a date. It doesn't have a place. And it may not come in the way that you had hoped. However, if you get really clean and clear with yourself and what it is you want to create, then you put that intention out there, and then you kind of cut the cord to it and let it go. Take a step back and let it go. This is where sometimes working with thought forms or thought balls or thought forms, thought balls, energy balls, that they do help you in letting go of your intention after you have set it out to the universe. So what you would do is you would warm up your hands and feel that energy between your hands. So I want everybody to kind of do that right now. So just kind of warm up your hands. Just feel that energy between them. You can really feel, if you press between them, the energy that you're creating, or the energy, the consciousness, the vibration that's between your hands. And I want you to slowly create a ball. Create a ball, and in that ball, I want you to think of one thing it is that you would like to manifest. Only for yourself. And don't add anybody else into this equation. Just for yourself. No one else's name. You can manifest a type of person, but you cannot, well, I would not encourage you to put somebody's name in there, okay? Even, yeah, don't put anybody's name in there. Only yourself. So I'm creating one for myself. I'm giving it energy, and I'm helping create and giving it consciousness. As I move this ball around for myself, I'm creating a thought form. Really power it up with your breath, your chi, your intention, with the energy between your hands. And now, I want you to take that thought form and release it into the universe, trusting and knowing that Spirit has heard you and that it's being taken care of way out there. All right? Just let it go. Hopefully, you were able to feel the energy, to see the energy, to empower the energy. Hold on one second. So I have a question from somebody here. Hold on, because they're not seeing me. I want to make sure that I'm streaming live in the online community. All right, so I'm just encouraging someone to go to the Empower Hour tab. Click on it. All right. All right, so did everybody try to do that in the online community that was able to tune in to see that? Did you feel the energy? Just feel free to write your comments in the chat area, in the main room chat area. You're welcome. Did you feel that energy? Did you? Good. And so when we release it, we don't need to revisit it all the time. And this is kind of a tricky thing with manifestation. So triggers will come up. We may be triggered. Things you're distracted and doubt because it hasn't happened yet, or oh my gosh, another thing is happening. That means that's not going to happen in that way. It is, in my opinion, to revisit and put your intention out there and then let it go again will help you redirect yourself and trust in the process. It's not easy to do that because when we go over and over and over and we keep reminding ourselves, okay, I'm going to do this, and every day we're saying that same affirmation, it's really for us to redirect our energy and our thoughts rather than the other person, the other situation, to help it all come together. And I say person, like say if you wanted to manifest someone new as an employee, you take that energy, you send it out. You don't need to revisit it a lot, but if you do the same thing and cut the cords to help it go out there. All right? Very good. And so hopefully all of you were able to feel the energy, and you could do that with just about anything that you're trying to manifest. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my notes here. Alrighty, so, and there are many books on the subject of the law of attraction and manifestation, and a lot of them have the same principles. It really is the same principle, and it's quite simple, yet it is not easy to follow through. Watching your thoughts, watching your belief systems, or changing these things will help you manifest more consciously. Let's say it's more of manifesting more consciously. I'm not going to say that with concentrating or hoping to have the lottery numbers, it may happen. It may not happen. That may not be for your highest and best good. Okay, so just know that. All right, so every thought and every word is definitely a prayer, and that's a profound statement. So again, taking a step back and thinking about that, every word, every thought's a prayer. Okay, great. So then it's not for you to beat yourself up over. That I am trying to point out that being more conscious and aware of your thoughts, your energy, where you're giving your attention, what you're fueling is what is happening in your life with your manifestations. Now, we can clear up, and some people say cancel, cancel, cancel what they put out there or what we put out there. may help a little bit. Again, it's the redirecting. It's not an excuse or just like, oh, I'll just erase this and it won't happen. I'll, like a pencil eraser, I'll erase what I just did in that way and cancel clear and that'll fix it. That doesn't always work that way. And by the way, what we may think as a huge energetic karmic offense, spiritual offense, ethical offense may not be the worst thing that, or the thing that creates a little bit of a blip in your pathway. It could be something so minute as, this is the example they're giving me, flipping someone off when you're driving, right? Maybe thinking, oh, I don't know who they are. They were a jerk. They deserved it. That may cause more of a ripple for you in the future than something that you think is a bigger offense. So I don't want to create anxiety and fear around this, okay? So that's not why I'm talking about this. I'm going to keep reiterating that. It's just that I would love for everybody to take a step back and be more conscious and aware of what your thoughts are, where your belief systems are, and what your intentions are, or where they're at, okay? All right, so another statement that I have heard quite a bit, and I'm sure many of you have, what we think we become. This is also something that I find that's on the same kind of thought processes as the other one I just mentioned, every word's a prayer. So if I would like to state an intention, I would only include myself, as I mentioned before, not anyone else. So that would be with our relationships, our careers, our families, friendships. We don't want to cross any free will boundaries, including someone else, like their name, would be crossing free will boundaries. If someone asks for prayers, then I state that person's name and send the healing energy. And an example of that would be, I send healing prayers and healing energy to Anthony Smith, born on blah, blah, blah. May he be blessed with support and healing at this time. Thank you, and I let it go. Now, if you wanted to send healing to someone else and you're not sure, then you would ask Spirit if it's appropriate, send that prayer. If he's not open to it, the healing will go someone else. So if I wanted to pray for a new romantic partner, I would use this prayer of intention. I ask for Spirit to help me be in alignment for the companion in love that is for my highest and best good, and to manifest this with grace, clarity, and harmony. And I trust in the divine timing of this relationship. Thank you. So that's one, to put it out there that you're in alignment. And trust me, here at the center, trust me. At the center, we do have a lot of questions in regards to, okay, my relationship. I want to rekindle this with my husband. I want to rekindle the relationship. He left. He's now my ex-husband. I want him back. I'll tell you right here and right now, first of all, I will redirect you and try to help you shift that a little bit. And I understand there's a lot of emotions that are involved with people and so on and so forth, and the chemistry and the karma. But I'm going to try to redirect you into working with the partner that's for your highest and best good. I'm not going to work with that free will and try to rope them in. That's not only a no-no for you, but it's a no-no for me too, because I know better. And we do know better. Don't use that excuse of I didn't know. That's not an excuse. And also, I'm wondering, well, why would you want them back? They're your ex, there's a reason, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's just an example with the relationship subject, because a lot of people do ask about relationships here. So we want the partner, the friend, the employee, the companion that's for our highest and best good. Also, I would encourage people to think about your words in this way and try to avoid the words of, like the statements, I am stressed out, I am unlucky in love, I am doomed, of course I am not getting what I want, I have bad luck. So first of all, the I am statements are a declaration of what you're putting out into the universe, and you are stating this is who you are. Like I'm saying, I am confident, I am I am that I am. And so we are stating this with confidence, but even when we say, I am tired, I am stressed out, I am unlucky, I am doomed, you're also putting these words into the universe. And don't worry about me, I'm okay with this. My guides just told me so. They said, don't worry about it, you're using an example. It's not the same as cancel clear. That is something to be mindful of, what you were stating about yourself. We do it unconsciously so many times, myself included. Sometimes I have to stop and catch myself and say, uh-oh, what are you doing with that? Okay, moving forward. Also, people like to make a deal with manifestation, with spirit. I would avoid bargaining with spirit. An example would be this: if I get what I want, I'll never say a bad thing. I will change my ways. These are conditions that you're telling spirit, give me what I want and I'll be a good doobie. That does not usually last with your manifestation. And what I'm talking about and trying to encourage people to look at is more of long-lasting manifestation rather than a short result. We would like more of a longer lasting manifestation and a result of what we're putting out there. So you will manifest your desires when you take responsibility for what you are putting out into the universe. There is no judge and jury deciding what you do get and what you do not. Your spiritual collective helps you decide, as well as the soul energies of others together with the creator collective. You do your part and allow the rest to manifest. And sometimes our negative ego gets in the way and we think we want something and we think we know better. And there's actually something even more wonderful on the other side of our attachment to how it should look and how it should be. So it's something else to kind of keep into, to keep in mind for ourselves. All right. Yes. And I kind of covered this part. Do you need to ask or pray every day for your desire? No, you do not. In fact, more than once may actually prolong the outcome. Why? Because you're bringing doubt into the picture and you're not sure that you've been heard. So you ask over and over and pray again and asking and requesting the same thing and again and again. And so this is not trusting in your process and your ability to manifest and your believing in yourself that you deserve and what you deserve and where your energy's at and your vibration. When I say my prayers and or affirmations, I may repeat my intention. I only repeat my intention so that I'm able to refocus my energy, as I mentioned before, and then I try to let it go. I verbalize it with calm, the calmness within myself and evenness in my vibration, my energy, my emotions, and I trust. I see the words come out of my mouth as a stream of consciousness flowing out into the universe, and then I kind of cut the connection with it. Oftentimes, manifestations occur when we least expect it. We detach and let go. We are getting out of the way. In order for a goal to manifest, sometimes there are necessary steps which need to occur to create a foundation, or as I see them, the necessary pieces to the puzzle for the picture to become complete. This may add to our timing in the long run. I don't know about you, but I'd rather get the sticky stuff out of the way and then be able to enjoy the manifestation and the bliss without having to deal with loose ends. So when we put our manifestation out there, I think I mentioned this last week with the candle the subject on candles that I had last week. When I put that intention out there, I know that sometimes my obstacles will come up. Sometimes my challenges will come up. And that just means that I have to clear it out of the way. If I don't have this manifestation already, there are several reasons why. I may not be on that vibrational plane, and then I have to work on different things within myself to shift that energy, right? So I may not be in alignment, and I have a couple of boulders and belief systems that are in the way. That's why it hasn't happened already. Or the timing's off a little bit, or I'm emotionally attached to it, or it's not supposed to happen because, again, something better for me may be around the corner. A lot of people give up just before their big breakthrough is about to occur. They do not trust the process. And I see this all the time in my private sessions. People think that their goals are not going to be heard, reached, so they shift directions. It's not happening now, so guess that's it. I'm going to go in another direction. And chances are it was right around the corner. You were it was just about to happen. You settled and you started all over. And so they have to start over, as I mentioned. Chances are they were just short of their success. And keep this in mind when you're frustrated and things are not moving as quickly as you had hoped. Timing is a tricky thing. It is sometimes that the seeds we plant take a while to manifest. And when things begin to fall into place, sometimes it's from the effort we put 4 to 5 months ago. So if you're not manifesting what you want instantly, don't give up. And it can be that what you manifest and what comes through in the physical is a result of something you did a while ago when you put an intention out there and you forgot. Or you thought it wasn't going to happen. So you didn't retract it. You didn't try to start over. You just said, okay, if it's to be, so be it. And I move on. And then you go about your business and life gives you different homework and different things to work on. And then lo and behold, here comes that manifestation. Oh, what a nice surprise. All right, go back to my online community quick. Just want to make sure that I have everybody in here, and I see some of the questions here. Hello. I'll get to, sorry, oh my goodness. I will get to your questions in just a little bit. Towards the end, I'm going to talk a little bit about manifestation. And so if you have questions, please do write them in the main room chat because it's a little tricky for me to go back and forth with the email now. For next week, actually next week, I will not be streaming live. I have a previous engagement, but the week after, I'm going to send out the email again and request that everybody write their questions to me if you wanted to before 9 so I can check in with them. And if it's after 9, well, I'll answer them in the main room chat or you'll type them in the main room chat. Okay. So my internet's going a little slower. It's okay. Alrighty. I do see some questions in the activity part. All right, I'm not going to get distracted yet. I see that question there. I got you, Robin. We'll get to it. All right. What about magic, and can and does this really work? So magic is turning something into something else, really. There's white magic, there's black magic, there's working with candles, there's working with incense and herbs and so on and so forth. So do sell these things at the store. So we sell candles and stones and incense and herbs and all these great things. And they do work to help you remind you of your focus. And the objects do hold vibration and energy. However, they're only part of the equation. You must be proactive with your thoughts, words, and deeds. So herbs do have vibration and frequency, and I know I've said this a million times, but I'll say it again. I have seen aura photography of someone holding a crystal before and then after and seeing their vibration and everything shift. And these tools are reminders. They're reminders of what it is you're trying to work with and on. Okay, so are the tools necessary? No, they're not necessary. They do add a little help, but are not an absolute element for your desire. So all that's required is really a sincere desire to be open to the gifts and everything in your world, which include your problems, obstacles, and bad relationships or challenging relationships. Is a clue and gift of transformation. We just need to be ready, willing, and proactive as you move through them. So it's like having a stone in your pocket. This is my reminder. When I get stressed out, I'm going to hold it, and it's going to help me just shift through it. Or I'm going to catch, my intention is to have my guides, my higher self, help me catch those negative thoughts and patterns when they start to creep in to redirect my energy. What if I did everything I could and still haven't reached my goal? Some manifestations are not for our highest and best good, and I mentioned earlier that, let alone for another. Your higher guidance is the filter for all of this, your higher self. If you are diverted down another path, it could be because there's something bigger and better along that road, as I mentioned. Let go of the what ifs and focus on what is. The what is still purposeful. So if you are still in that challenging job and you've put your application out there, you know what? There still are some gifts within this current situation that it's best for you to work on that in the here and the now. Okay, so that could be that obstacle in the road that you need to learn how to let things roll off your back rather than focus on every word at work and so on and so forth. That's why you have to learn how to have thicker skin or how to communicate in a different way. And that's why the other job hasn't manifested yet. So we all have areas in our lives that we manifest more easily and effortlessly. That is the area that your soul has chose to grow through. Because I'm teaching this class doesn't mean I'm perfect or talking about this. It doesn't mean I'm perfect and I don't have areas where I know my soul chooses to grow through these experiences. So everybody's got stuff. I don't care who you are, where you are. If you're on this earthly plane, there are still things for your soul to experience. Challenges, blessings, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful. So if you're physical, you've got stuff. Don't care who you are. So try not to judge yourself around that. And there are certain subject matters that I struggle with a little bit more than others. And so I know that, these are kind of like the highlighted areas where there's a lot of light to be revealed as I'm challenged in these areas. When the same problem keeps coming up, you can tackle it with the understanding that you can grow from this and that you are not at the same place. And a lot of people say, here I go again. I'm at that spot again. It just might mean that there's another level for your understanding and not to get upset or frustrated that it's there again. Because sometimes, we're sick of dealing with the same thing. Challenge. Oh, there it is again. Well, I'm not as upset as I was last time. And you know what? And I'm going to try a different approach. So you may still encounter the same challenges, just not to the same degrees as where you were before. All right? You're being given the opportunity to take this correction to the next level. So just I want you to think about it, a little later on. What area or goal do you find yourself having difficulty maintaining a level of comfort or accomplishment? So that is the area those are the areas that your soul has chosen to grow through. And there, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to go a little bit more in depth here. There are different reasons why your intention may not be manifesting. Your belief system is not very optimistic. This does happen. It's like, oh, there I go again. Of course, not happening. There's no way it could happen. You may have low self-esteem and you don't feel worthy. Your vibration does not match the goal that you have. You do not trust the manifestation process. The path may look different than what you think it should look like. You keep starting over, changing your mind. Your goal involves other people who may not be on the same page. One of the most difficult manifestations. So say if you're going into partnership with someone, or you and your spouse are thinking about moving, and first you got to sell your home. You may not be on that same wavelength to manifest that buyer. So that's something to think about as well. The timing is further off than what you may think. Spirit's always in charge. Sometimes we do not know what's for our highest and best good, and I mentioned that several times this morning. There are other obstacles that may need to be cleared first. Always trust the manifestation process, and that's a difficult thing to try to do. The path Spirit has us going down may not be what you thought it would be in the process. Patience and staying positive, trusting the process will save you headache, heartache, and disappointment. So, yes, there's a lot going on there with the manifestation process. So I'm going to share just a couple of different tips, and there are quite a few of them, and I do want to make sure I get to your questions as well, which feel free to type in your question in the main room chat. All right. For those who are on the YouTube page, I did disable the chat there. If you already are a member of the online community, scoot in there at www.themysticalmoon.ning.com, fill out a profile, and it's free to do so, and I will grant you access into the online community. All right, let me just get back in here quick. See if anybody else is requesting to join. We do have quite a few members here in the online community, which I am so excited. I know we just passed 800, and hopefully we could get to 1,000 soon. And I do invite everyone to still be patient with the Saturday morning psychic hour. We'll see what we can do. I know I have had a few volunteers, and I know Theodore is still exploring. I'll have to touch base with him. And so, thank you, Mercury retrograde. All right, I'm not loading here right now. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to these other tips, my top tips. And some of you may have heard these before, so it's a repeat, and some of you may have not, and I hope you learned something new. Obviously, number one, there's quite a few here. I think I have 33. Pay attention to your thoughts. We create our reality from the inside out. And when we are aware and proactive with our thoughts, we begin to change the direction of our paths. True. Replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Be proactive. You will then be in alignment with what you do want in your life. Write down a list of goals for yourself. I encourage people to begin with no more than 7 at a time and be realistic with your goals. Also give yourself 7 goals for 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. Sage yourself as well as your space at least once a week. If you are going through a stressful time, maybe every day until you feel grounded. Saging is a spiritual practice of lighting sage, allowing the smoke to clear negativity from a person, home, office, car, and/or objects. Sage your money as it comes in. For example, your paycheck and/or change from a purchase. So that one is not, to be realistic, it's not always possible to sage every penny, nickel, dime, dollar that comes in. I mean, that would be exhausting. But when you think about it, please do go and just kind of hit your money up a little bit with some sage. I saged both cash registers. I saged the money bag. I saged my wallet. I saged my checkbook, my credit cards, all of that. I try to cleanse and clear it every once in a while. Purchase and light a green candle to bring in abundance. The green candle brings in abundance, money, flow. Surround yourself with positive, loving, and supportive people. If someone is toxic, do your best to create healthy boundaries, because we do, like when we blend our energy with others in their auric field just by being in the same room, we are blending consciousnesses. And if someone is really toxic, we must learn how to engage in them without allowing their negativity to come into our auric field and influence us in that way. Orchestrate a new moon intention by writing down your intention on a piece of paper. Light one tea light for the next 21 nights and watch the manifestation begin to unfold. One intention at a time with that. It's a little bit different than writing your goals down. Okay. If you are aware of the blockages and areas where you struggle, write them down. After the full moon, read them out loud, requesting spirit to help you release in a healthy, loving, and peaceful manner the obstacles that are preventing you from fulfillment. And this is a really good time to do that while Mercury is retrograde, because it's a time of endings and releasing what doesn't serve. And then we've got after the full moon, so the energy is taking away. It's an excellent time to release that energy. Repeat this affirmation. I am open to the blessings of the universe. I am open to receive. Declutter your space. Clutter disrupts the chi or flow of energy in our homes, offices, and spaces. Throw away or donate what no longer serves. Write a letter to someone that you do not have closure with. Read this letter out loud and then either burn the letter or shred it and have a letting go ceremony. You do not need them to be present for this exercise. Of course, be careful with your fire. So you don't have to read this to them face to face or call them up. You can do it energetically. Light a black candle to help absorb your negativity, fears, and worries. You can write these fears on the candle with a toothpick, pencil, or any type of writing implement, and ask spirit to help you release these negative thought forms in a healthy manner. Write a check to yourself with a specific dollar amount, then sign it from spirit or the universe. Also, date it now. Keep it in your wallet or hang it up as a reminder of the blessings that will be coming into your life. Balance and align your chakras at least once a week. So this is energetically taking care of your energy sensors. If one chakra is off, it's going to kind of mess with your flow. It's going to mess with your mojo. So there are many different ways to align your chakras. Saging, crystal bowl meditations, going outside, aromatherapy, crystals, Reiki treatment, self or receiving Reiki treatment, or any kind of energy session. That's going to help clear them using the Okay, I think I'm back. I want to double check because I noticed that the streaming just kind of cut out, and so I want to make sure that I am able to check here. Hold on, my friends. Thank you for your patience. Hello, Mercury retrograde. All right, let me get back to the Empower Hour. I see my green light, but I'm not sure if it's still recording, so I just want to get back into this page here. I was on a roll. Oh, you see me? Okay, good. Thank you. I know, Mercury retrograde. All right, great. I'm back. I'm back. Let's see. Okay, I was in the money part. Sometimes we must spend a little to receive a little. When we hold on too tightly to money, it restricts the flow of energy. Of course, I recommend spending within your limits. Don't go crazy. Record some positive affirmations, then listen to them before you go to sleep or as you go to sleep, while you're driving in the car, and or as a meditation. When receiving a bill, say, I am grateful for this bill because Spirit knows I have the means to pay this bill. Try to have a smile on your face. Be open to miracles. Let go of your need to control people and circumstances. Sometimes the solutions are better than you ever could have imagined. Recite this mantra, I am lucky and blessed. I know I am and always will be taken care of. Have faith, build a relationship with your higher guidance, higher self, your guides. You do know that you are a magnificent being of light. You do know that, right? You do you have closure with the last relationship? Are you not ending a certain situation because you do not want to be alone? Sometimes, well, most of the time, the door of opportunity does not open because we have not closed a door that should stay closed and locked. And so this has to do with love relationships. It has to do romantic relationships. It has to do with family, friends, across the board. Sometimes we're just afraid of letting go because I don't have anything else to lean on. And sometimes the strength is within, and we have to, and most of the time I would say I know the strength is within us. And so when we're leaning on this relationship and we just want to go from one to the other, we're being codependent. It's a whole other streaming. Look at the glass half full. It is difficult to manifest when we are viewing life as incomplete, half empty, and that there is never enough to go around. Debbie and Donnie Downers very rarely are happy, abundant, and healthy. And my last tip is remember that there's plenty for all of us to go around. There's plenty to go around for everyone, and the universe is limitless. So I hope that some of these thoughts, some of these suggestions that I have do resonate for you, okay? Hang on now. And so just a lot to think about. Now, this segment will be airing, so you'll be able to watch this until actually 2 weeks. Not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. As I mentioned, I have an engagement commitment for next Wednesday morning that I still need to kind of fulfill. So you'll be able to watch this one for a couple of weeks. And hopefully then if there are things you wanted to jot down, you'll watch it again with your pen and paper. And I would love to hear your suggestions in the main room chat as well. All right, so now I'm going to go to answering some questions here. As I mentioned, I don't see Doris here anymore. Doris, I did not get your email. I'm not sure if you sent it to the store front and not in the online community. So hopefully you'll write back to me. So if you have a question, write it in the main chat area here in the online community. For those who are tuning in on YouTube, next time if you could, join us in the online community at www.themysticalmoon.ning, and I'll be able to help you out there with your questions and we can chat live. All right, so for the first question, it was from Lady Christina, and it had to do with finances. And hang on here. Put this here. All right, so what I am doing is I'm going to use my tarot cards, and I'm going to show you a little bit. You'll get also a little bit of a tarot lesson with my answers here. All right, so finances. Ooh, things are going to look really good for you, my dear. Okay, so with your finances, it's really important for you to continue to find the balance in things. So this means with work, play, getting enough rest, managing your time, delegating, and the more balance you have, the better off you're going to be. They're showing me, I want to go more towards the end of October. I'm feeling like there's a huge blessing that's coming in. It has to do with your finances. So create balance, create boundaries, take care of yourself, know your limits, be mindful of your energy with other people. Sorry, this is driving me nuts. Be mindful of your energy with other people and where you're exhausting yourself, and learn how to create healthier energetic boundaries, and make sure you're not losing yourself in the process of all of this. So the first card that I had for you was the Chariot, which in this instance, to me, has to do with the balance. It has to do with making sure, like I said, work, play, rest, sleep, healthy diet, energetic boundaries, delegation, so on and so forth. The next card that you had was the Ace of Wands. This is a gift. When I see the Ace of Wands, I always think or hear there's a surprise coming in from Spirit. So get ready. Be on the lookout. Well, you'll know when it happens, but just know that Spirit's working on it. There's like a surprise that's coming in that has to do with abundance. This is the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles is the fulfillment of a physical goal, a physical manifestation. And in this case, it does have to do with your finances and money. So keep creating organization and discipline and make sure you're taking care of your mind, your body, your spirit. Do work on your spirituality, your faith, your trust. So meditation, talking to your guides, whatever it is that you know really feeds your soul, your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul, your spirit. And then do know that the finances are going to be more stable as time goes on. Okay, I hope that answered that for you. All right, the next question is from Jordan. All right, Jordan, I see you in there. All right, so stay or go. All right. My question is, should you stay? Actually, Spirit says right now, yes. And I went a little bit more in depth. I went into my relationship spread, which the relationship spread is I pulled 9 cards, 3 for you, 3 for the other person, 3 for the end result. And so there are some decisions that you do need to make within this relationship, because I have my 2 of Wands. My 2 of Wands has to do with making a choice. I'm going to stay or go. And if I stay, I really need to give it 110%. I think that some of the focus and some of the goals within the relationship are looking a little bit different. I feel like you also need to update that relationship. The next card I have is the 4 of Swords reversed. So this has to do with you may not be listening to the inner guidance and the signs. You may be more focused on the end result rather than what's happening right now. And actually that is so, because I have the World, which is about completion. The other person's really working on their own goals, and you may feel a disconnect with them. They have the 7 of Swords reversed, which I don't have, which means is pretty much what you see, what you get. You have the Ace of Pentacles, and then the 9 of Cups. So there's a personal goal that this other person has that they're working on, and you may feel like they're disconnected. It doesn't mean that they're not invested in the relationship, all right? And the last 3, the 2 of Cups, which is about relationship and having really good chemistry. The Knight of Pentacles, which is about just kind of sitting there and allowing things, staying in the relationship, sitting there and waiting things to happen, excuse me, remaining in the relationship and allowing things to kind of fall into place. And you have a decent foundation. And then the last card is the 6 of Swords, which with the 6 of Swords has to do with, she had rocky waters behind her, and now the waters are smooth or calm, which has to do with some of the swords are also the mind. Water is emotion, has to do with some of the stressors that we weren't good with. You're going to be able to work them through. So I would say stay there a little bit longer. Decide to stay, decide to commit. Know that the other person's working on some of their own personal goals and has nothing to do with them not caring about you. So I hope that did help. Okay? All right. Another question. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to refresh this quick. So I do see the question from Amanda. Can a sad week throw you back from your goal? You know, I'm going to say no. You know why? Because with your intention of what you put out there, there might be some sadness that needs to be dealt with, or grieving. And that's part of some of the obstacles that are coming up. As long as you acknowledge and embrace and work through the sadness and allow yourself to feel it, then I feel like you're moving in a healthier direction. So the sadness is a result of what your intention of what you put out there, because things are coming up. It's part of clearing those obstacles. So I'm going to say no. Let's see what Spirit has to say with the cards as well. We have more people joining us, so I have only 5 more minutes. So if you had a question, please type it in the main room chat for the online community. So, boy, a lot of stuff is coming up for you, Amanda. So they're just showing me, actually, you just experienced just recently the Ten of Swords. So the Ten of Swords is the dark night of the soul. However, that heaviness and all of that energy needed to be worked through, to be dealt with, to be sorted through, because then you have the Fool. And you may also be afraid of making the same mistake twice, or having a redo and a do-over with that. And I don't see that happening. And because you also have the Page of Wands, which is about optimism and coming at it from a different perspective. Grieve, feel, work through what you need to work through. Don't feel bad about it. It's like, okay, I just need to, this is part of my process. And then continue to move forward. All right. So then, how do you know if you, I have another question to you. How do you know if you should chase a dream that you have? Oops. I would listen to my inner self, my reaction, my body, how I get the little different triggers. And I would also, I would put that intention out there and see what pops up, right? To see synchronicities, songs on the radio, what other people are saying to me when they don't even know that Spirit's communicating through them. I would also pay attention to some of the doors that open or close. It doesn't mean you shouldn't chase this dream. Sometimes the timing is off just a little bit. And for that dream that you have, I would work a little bit more towards it, creating a strong, back to the foundation and balance. I would work more towards balance with that dream that you have. They're showing me that it's not quite the exact timing for everything to fall into place. However, the prep work can be done now. And then give yourself a little bit more time for it to happen. And stay strong with your convictions. Within yourself. Sometimes when we have a goal, we tell a lot of people, and that does go into the doubting ourselves with our manifestation process. Not an easy thing, because then if we share with other people, what can happen is that you tell too many people and they tell you, well, that's impossible, and it kind of squashes your dream. Some people may take your idea and just kind of run with it. So they're copycats sometimes, and sometimes it just doesn't feel good to put it all out there because you're conflicted then. And then if you don't follow through in the way that you said you were going to follow through, then you're judging yourself and doubting yourself. So put that to the side. All right, so we have 2 more minutes, and it doesn't look like I don't see any more questions coming through here. Just going to reload it. All right, so hopefully I was able to put a different spin, or give you share a different perspective with manifestation goals, the law of attraction, and hopefully some of my answers were able to help you with some of the questions that you posed to me. And I look forward to seeing you not next week, but the week after. And I'm not quite sure what the topic is yet. I'm not quite sure what topic I'm going to be discussing. And also, stay tuned for Saturday mornings for psychic questions that'll be answered. This week I will not be able to answer them. I think I'm going to find a substitute, because I love how everyone's able to connect and get to know each other. And sometimes I'm able to have one of my students in the online community to answer questions a little bit more practice, and they're very good at what they do. But the number one way to advance your intuition, with psychic development, is practice, as we all know. So if you're in the area, the Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, Naples area, Southwest Florida, we have a lot going on this week. So this week we have some guest readers here. We have Ashley Devine will be here. We have Arlene, Jenny Martin, all of our wonderful regular people, Mary Alice and Anne. Thursday night, we're doing a Diksha blessing in the Fort Myers store. Friday night, Reiki circle with Pam. And then moving into the week after, we have Psychic Fair. We'll be closed on Sunday. I look forward to connecting with all of you, and I hope you all did enjoy this week's streaming. And Doris, I see you signed back in. Doris, I did not get your question. So if you could type it quick in the main room chat area, I'll be able to answer you, please. Oh, and also as a special thank you in the online community, if you purchase anything in the online store, you do receive 10% off by using the code, I believe it's MM10. I believe that's what it is. Doris, where's your question? All right, thank you, everyone. I'll have to get you next time, hon. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. Have a great week, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, bye-bye. Namaste. Whoops.